Ever spent 3 hours at a social gathering and needed the entire weekend afterward just to feel human again? While your friends are texting about the next hangout, you're still recovering from the last one like you ran a marathon. Here's what neuroscience just figured out. You're not antisocial, you're not weak, and you're definitely not imagining it. Your brain is processing social interaction completely differently, and what scientists discovered might finally explain why you've always felt this way. Social exhaustion isn't laziness. For certain nervous systems, it's biology. And if you're someone who needs days to recharge after a single evening out, your brain is doing work most people don't even register. Let's unpack why. For decades, psychologists lumped everyone into two camps, introverts and extroverts. Introverts need alone time. Extroverts need people time. Simple distinction. But then researchers studying cognitive load and neural recovery patterns found something the binary model missed completely. Starting around 2012, neuroscientists at Stony Brook University examined brain activity after social exposure in different personality types. They discovered a subset of individuals whose brains showed prolonged elevated activity in multiple regions long after social interaction ended. Not anxiety, not stress response, just continued intensive processing. They termed this deep social processing, and the recovery time wasn't hours, it was days. Let's explore what's actually happening in your brain when you're recovering from that dinner party. First, your prefrontal cortex, the executive function headquarters, goes into overdrive during social situations. You're tracking facial expressions, monitoring tone shifts, reading body language, adjusting your responses in real time, managing conversational flow, and suppressing impulses simultaneously. For deep processors, this doesn't shut off when the event ends. Your brain continues analyzing interactions, replaying conversations, assessing what you said, evaluating how others responded, looking for patterns and meanings. Think of it like a computer running a massive background process. The screen looks idle, but the CPU is maxing out. Other people close the program after socializing. Your brain keeps multiple tabs open, processing, cross-referencing, integrating the experience into your existing social knowledge database. But here's the truly fascinating part. Your mirror neuron system, the network responsible for empathy and emotional resonance, shows heightened baseline activity. When you're with people, you're not just hearing their words, you're unconsciously absorbing their emotional states, their energy levels, their unspoken tensions. Researchers call this high sensory processing sensitivity, and it affects roughly 15 to 20% of the population. You're essentially running emotional software in the background for everyone in the room. No wonder you're exhausted. And we haven't even discussed the autonomic nervous system yet. During social interaction, your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mechanism, maintains low-grade activation. Not panic levels, just readiness. Your heart rate elevates slightly, cortisol increases modestly, adrenaline trickles steadily. For most people, this returns to baseline within an hour of leaving. For deep processors, it can take 48 hours or more for complete parasympathetic recovery. Your nervous system doesn't have an off switch. It has a dimmer that moves incredibly slowly. Now here's the question that makes people uncomfortable. Are you recovering from social interaction, or are you avoiding something deeper? Because there's a critical difference between neurological processing time and psychological avoidance disguised as processing time. Let's be completely honest. Some people aren't experiencing deep social processing. They're experiencing social anxiety, past trauma responses, or attachment pattern disruptions. And they've labeled it as introversion or sensitivity because those terms feel safer, more acceptable, less broken. If your recovery time includes rumination, shame spirals, catastrophic thinking, or replaying interactions with dread rather than analysis, that's not deep processing. That's something worth addressing with professional support. Psychologist Dr. Elaine Aron, who pioneered research on highly sensitive people, makes this distinction clear. Healthy deep processing feels like mental digestion. You're integrating, understanding, making sense of complex social data. Unhealthy avoidance feels like mental torture. You're judging, fearing, regretting, anticipating rejection. The question isn't, do you need recovery time? The question is, what happens during that recovery time? If your answer includes words like integrate, reflect, restore, understand, you're likely experiencing authentic, deep processing. If your answer includes words like ruminate, regret, panic, catastrophize, that indicates something different, requiring exploration. Not character failure, not permanent damage, just patterns that therapy or counseling could help untangle. But let's return to people whose brains genuinely need extended recovery because they've discovered something society refuses to acknowledge. They've learned that matching everyone else's social pace will destroy them. Consider the cultural narrative for a moment. Networking events, back-to-back social commitments, constant availability, immediate responses, always being on. Modern society treats social stamina like a moral virtue. The more you can handle, the more successful, well-adjusted, and valuable you are. But what if that's completely backward for certain neurotypes? Evolutionary psychologists suggest that deep processors played crucial tribal roles. While others focused on immediate group dynamics, deep processors noticed patterns, remembered details, anticipated problems, maintained social memory. They couldn't keep up socially because they were doing different cognitive work. Your brain might be wired for quality analysis over quantity interaction. Modern life just forgot that used to be valuable. And here's something that'll challenge everything you think about yourself. Research from Dr. Jadzia Jagielowicz at Stony Brook found that people requiring extended social recovery often form deeper, more meaningful, long-term relationships than their extroverted counterparts. Not despite their recovery needs, because of them. They can't do superficial well. They can't small talk their way through connections. They need depth, authenticity, genuine exchange. And when they find it, they invest completely. Their relationships aren't numerous, they're profound. There's actual terminology for this in psychological literature. Selective deep bonding. The capacity to form intense, lasting connections with few individuals rather than casual connections with many. It's not social failure. It's a different social strategy entirely. Think about it practically. Would you rather have 40 surface-level friendships requiring constant maintenance, or 5 soul-deep connections where you can be completely yourself? Deep processors consistently choose the latter, not because they can't do the former, but because their nervous system literally cannot sustain that model without breaking down. So what does this mean for your actual life? If you're someone who genuinely needs 48 hours after socializing, here's your permission statement. You're not defective. You're not antisocial. Your cognitive and emotional processing systems are running advanced programs that require serious recovery resources. And that's not just valid, it's admirable. The world needs people who process deeply, who notice what others miss, who understand that connection quality matters more than connection quantity. In our culture of constant engagement, where everyone's expected to be perpetually available and infinitely social, the courage to say, "I need 2 days alone," might be the most self-aware thing possible. But stay vigilant with yourself. Ensure you're honoring genuine needs, not reinforcing avoidance patterns. Can you still connect when you want to? Do you have people who understand your rhythm? Are you recovering toward connection or hiding from vulnerability? Because the healthiest relationship with recovery time is one where it enables connection, not replaces it. Next time someone asks why you're declining their invitation or why you need space after hanging out, you can explain prefrontal processing loads, mirror neuron sensitivity, parasympathetic recovery cycles, and the complete scientific framework showing that extended recovery isn't social dysfunction, it's cognitive thoroughness. Or you can simply state, because my brain works differently. That typically ends the interrogation fast. And frankly, that's the entire point. If this video just validated an experience you thought made you weird, don't leave yet. The next content explores why certain personality types need specific recovery practices and how sensory processing determines your social capacity. They're not suggestions. They're answers to what this video probably stirred up. I'll see you there.